Hey everyone, welcome to Dev Diary number 9. It has been a while since I put a Dev Diary up, the holidays, and some things came up. But the project's still going, definitely still going through with the Dev Diaries. This one, I'm going to go over some of the changes I've made to the clans, and also talk a little bit at the end about my plans. So, I have made some changes to the clans. I have given them all a base mutation that you get when you select the clan outside of the rank 1 mutation or ability you choose. This was, I had the idea that all of the clans looked relatively human at a base. Over time, and more recently after coming back to this project, um, since I started putting these videos up, I thought to myself, I definitely wanted them to have at least one thing baseline that they stand apart. So even if you have a rank 1 that takes an ability, you can still point them out as a Tempest or an Archon. So we're going to go through those. I've also... One second. Brain reset. I'm going to go through these clans pretty much alphabetically. I have separated 2 out to the side. And that's because they're a little bit more complex, a little bit more weird than the other ones. Some of them are very basic. Some of them, these 2 are definitely a little bit more complex and strange. This, as I said before, this game is not going to be a streamlined game. I like crunchier games with a lot more systems to support the ways of play. So it allows me to put in stranger ideas. Now, none of these may, some of these might not make it to the end version. But these are things that I thought were either cool or seemed really fun, especially with those final 2. So let's get on into it. We're going to start off with the Archons. Pretty basic for them. They have a digitigrade lathe structure. May have mispronounced that. This makes them faster on their feet, so they get plus 10 movement speed. Very straightforward. So anytime you build an Archon, you get your rank 1 mutation, and you'll automatically get that on top of your set ability scores. The Baylor clan has they have horns that come and sprout from the temples of the clan members. This grants them a +1 to bull rush combat checks, increases headbutt damage by a flat 5 damage, and the first injury that affects the head can be degraded by 1 tier if there are still injury slots available at that lower tier. So it's just kind of an all-round combat-focused mutation they have, but they are a combat clan, so even if you play a Baylor that's not combat-oriented, this is the base mutation that all Baylors have. The Deva, they actually have visible veins of metallic appearance, tracing them all over their body in various shapes, sharp angular patterns. Every Deva looks generally unique. There may be some that look similar, unless you looked at the whole pattern, but for the most part, they are unique structures. This allows them to regain an additional 5 SP whenever SP is regained. Again, SP is soul points. It's what's used to push yourself or use magic in this world. The Afriti, they have they're chameleonic in nature. They can change certain aspects of themselves. So the Afriti, as I mentioned before, as they gain mutations and abilities, start setting their skin, hair, and a visible aura color to match the mutation or ability they got. But this allows them to change skin and hair color for 1 scene a day. Each can be changed independently to different colors, but the chosen color must be of one consistent hue. So this kind of allows them to blend in a little bit. They are one of the few that can hide themselves a little bit compared to other clans. The fairy have an angular pointed facial features including ears and no distinction between pupil and iris. They have a +1 success to any check involving hearing, as well as a +2 to any check related to intimidation or lying. Just because it's a good amount of tells are hidden by their features, essentially. And also just looking into the void of a single color pupil iris, just enlarged, it can be intimidating, so we gave that to them. And they just have better hearing than some other clans. The Garuda are the ones that had one originally. This is what spurred me to make the base mutations for all of them, because I didn't want Garuda to be the only ones with it. So they have the wings that sprout from their arms for limited gliding. It allows 2 minutes of gliding before a required landing. The Kitsune have a peanut ear structure and a rhinarium nose structure. They get +2 successes to any checks involving hearing or scent. I may have mispronounced those. I apologize to any biologists or other scientists out there. Protean, they have scales across the body. Not full coverage, but upwards of 60%. Variable from Protean to Protean. This does give them a +2 natural defense. Again, Proteans are more akin to lizards or reptiles. That's where those scales kind of come from. Spectre, they have a lower heart rate. This gives them a natural chance that when lying still, people and animals may assume them dead. Can be used to hide and remain undetected. Just note that animals with a scavenger tag have the inverse effect as hunter animals. So if you're trying to escape an animal and you want to play dead, a hunter animal, if you assume dead, generally won't go after you. A scavenger animal that thinks you're dead is thinking, ooh, feast. So that is another sub-mechanic to think about, but a really cool, fun effect that they can do because they're akin to undead. And then the last normal one is the Tempest. They're built very tall, very stocky. Think dwarf, but giant. As the shortest Tempest still reaches about 6 feet tall. They get +1 success to all strength-based checks and a +1 success to opposed grapple checks. As they are just larger than most other clans across Corvith. So we get to one of the weird ones. We have the Scylla. They have a combination of parts from other clans. You choose 3 base mutations, so any of the ones we just went over from the other 3 clans. You cannot choose El Rasai, which is the next one I'm going to go over. But you choose 3 from any of the other 10 clans, and you assign them a number 1, 2, or 3. At the beginning of every in-game day, you roll a d4 and randomly gain access to the ability rolled for the day, with a 4 being no ability accessible for the day. So, if you chose 1 as the Archon, 2 as the Deva, 3 as the Garuda, you would have those features on your character, and then every day you would roll, and in an effective sense, that mutation would be more prominent that day and actually activate, while the other 2 would be recessed for the day, not be as prevalent, and not being able to be utilized. Scylla are homunculi based, which is why this is kind of a thing. So they show some of the mutations of the other clans, and this will expand as more clans are made. As the lesser clans get built out, you'd be able to take from them as well. But for now, it's just these 10 clans. As El Rasai cannot be taken as a part of the Scylla mutation. So getting on to El Rasai, they're another weird one. Because they are like beings of chaos, so they change a lot. So you gain a random ability, again, kind of like the Scylla, on a d6 though. On a 1, it's an unstable being, reduce all injury pools by 1, so it's actually a negative mutation. 2 is look like undeath. You get a +2 to intimidation and a -2 to charm for that day. 3, eyes become keen. You get a +2 to sight-based checks. 4, skin toughens. You get +2 defense. 5 is brimming with potential. You double your SP regen. And 6, legs reform for speed. You get +10 speed. So, on a 1, you get a pretty bad debuff. You probably don't want to risk combat on days that you roll a 1 on. 2 is a give and take, and then 3 and 4 and 5 start get stronger. And 6 also is in that boat where some of them are pretty solid buffs to the character. So that is what the changes that I've made. Just wanted to go in and give all of the clans a base mutation instead of just having the Gru to be the only one. Again, I don't know if these will stay as is through to the final, but that's why here soon I'm going to be actually kicking up the playtests. I've got a good handful of people that are interested, so I'll probably be doing playtests every 2 weeks. Probably starting mid-February is what I think I'm really landing on. And I'll do a recap video afterwards talking about, what kind of things we did, what people's responses were. Hopefully I'll have some notes from them and can actively discuss what changes I'm thinking about. But that is the state of things as of right now and what the plans are going forward. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. I'd love to hear from anyone who decides to stay through and listen to these. And for those of you that did stay through and listen to this, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully more fun, interesting things to come. Until next time.